उन सबका शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ और मैं एज अ प्रेसिडेंट नेशनल इस्लामिक यूनिवर्सिटी इस तरह की जो भी इवेंट्स होती हैं उन सब कोशिश की। डॉक्टर असमाबुल साहब और डॉक्टर आसिफ मीर साहब, उसी तरह जो कॉन्फ्रेंस सेक्रेटरी हैं डॉक्टर शाहीन शहजाद साहब, उन सबका शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ। और जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स खासतौर पर इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में अभी यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं, मेल एंड फीमेल स्टूडेंट्स हैं, उन सबका भी शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ। और उनको मैं एज अ प्रेसिडेंट नेशनल इस्लामिक यूनिवर्सिटी उन सबको इस बात की ताकीद करता हूँ कि वतन अजीज़ पाकिस्तान के लिए नेक तमन्नाओं का इजहार कीजिए।
Including Ibn al-Haytham Award from the Council of Science and Technology, Azaz Fasilat Award from the President of Pakistan. He is a member of President of various prestigious societies.
Professor Dr. Raheel Qamar, Rector, Comsats, and Chief Guest of the event, Professor Dr. Ahmed Yusuf Ad-Darawish, faculty sitting at the podium and in the hall, participants from abroad, Tim Trevon, and others would be joining him soon, Shahana Uruj, Dr. Azra, my dear students, relevant and very good presentations, which is going to generate much interest in the faculty and in the students, inshallah. The thing that pleases me more is the conduct of the two workshops. At the end of the conference, I hope they are going to be more interactive and they are going to generate more interest, and there will be more learning opportunity for the students and the young faculty. I would also like to request Dr. Asma that in the end, in the last session, if she spares some time for deliberations on as to what are actually the opportunities as far as biotechnology is concerned or biocomputing is concerned, what are the opportunities available for us here in this country? What should the youth do? What kind of learning is needed from them? That is extremely important. And if she could spare some time, I would love to participate in that and share my own views and learn from the views of the others. Ladies and gentlemen, there can't be any second opinion about that in the old days, gold mine has been the gold and the oil in a country. Today's gold mine certainly is the technology. And all those nations who have invested in the science and technology, they are economically prosperous today. And we don't have to invent new wheels, but follow those nations who have excelled already and learn from their experiences and try to do the same over here in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come a long way in this country. From a single university when we got independence to 194 universities as of today in this country. This is a great achievement. And now we have prepared that force, that workforce, which if put on the right track, I mean the youth in this country, which is 56 million. And we have been able to bring to the higher education something like 1.4 million youth, and the others are aspiring to go to the higher education institutions. if we put them on the right track, not only can they change the fate of this country, but can change the fate of this entire region. Not many countries has got a young population, 56 million, as Pakistan has. So this is a big treasure, and we in the universities must value that and try to concentrate on the youth. Dear participants, I would not say much about this field or what it can do in this country. We would like to listen to Dr. Raheel Qamar, who is going to shed more light on it. But one thing I must say here, that we need to revisit the way we teach and the way we do research in this country. This is extremely important. We have to take our students in the classroom through Bloom's taxonomy and put them on the OBE, that is outcome-based education, as is done for the engineering students. We need to do the same for the other disciplines also. If we want to produce creative and innovative students who can go to the practical field and play their role over there, we have to produce creative minds over there. And that is only possible if we revisit the way we teach. As far as research is concerned in this country, we have to think now 100 times as to what kind of research needs to be done. There can't be, we cannot ignore involvement in the cutting edge research. We need to produce good scientists. We need to play our role globally also. But at the same time, we must concentrate on the local challenges, on our local issues, on our local problems. We as universities have to become relevant to the needs of the society, relevant to the needs of the country. And whatever indigenous problems do we have in this country, we need the indigenous solution to those problems. Because if we can't give the solution to those indigenous problems, no one will come from outside to find the solution for us. As far as the role of the government is concerned, yes, the government has a role to play. And that role is that at least with this 1.5 or 1.8 or 1 point which is given to the education. Now look at the example of child research and look where they are now today. In science and technology, in research, they have excelled. So the same thing needs to do. If Pakistan, which is thinking of taking some of the universities, my dear teachers, those who are in the university, every day when you enter the university and then when you leave the university, what were their needs and how much did we fulfill that? Don't involve has really damaged the universities. It is going to take that institution, clubs and others who have participated to come up with this event to see how the students of Pakistan and abroad. I thank Raheel Qamar for sparing his time. I know he is 100 faculty or more than that. It is not easy to run, but yet thank you and welcome you to International Islamic University.
Thank you very much, sir.
being always humans were creating was doubling every century. So all the knowledge created in the previous 100 years would double after every century. Okay? After World War II, when there was a massive industrialization and a real pump of money into science and technology, knowledge started doubling every 25 years. Currently, the rate is every 13 months. So the knowledge which was, created up till 7th of January last year has doubled today. So that is a huge amount of knowledge which is coming out. And with the advent of Internet of Things, IoT, can you imagine when the knowledge will double? How long will the knowledge take in doubling? 12 hours. So all of the knowledge created up till now, tomorrow at this same time, the knowledge would have doubled twice. That's a huge amount of data. That's a huge amount of knowledge which is coming out. Now the challenges are how to analyze that sort of knowledge and what to do with it also, The human brain, if we start indexing everything in the human brain, it will take several billion petabytes of data storage capacity. Several billion petabytes. 1 petabyte is about 1,000 terabyte or 1 million gigabyte. Again, a huge amount of knowledge. Just to give you a reference, right now, the whole knowledge which is out on the internet is about 5 million terabytes. Of that, Google has indexed only about 200 terabytes of data, which is 0.00004% of the data has been indexed. So a lot of data existing out there which still needs to be indexed and all that. And human genome has pumped in, again, a lot of data into that. Every single human being, I contain in every single cell about 300 bits of data. That's a huge amount of data. And to store that, you need a lot of, storage space. Luckily, what is happening is storage has been doubling along with the amount of knowledge that we've been creating. And also the computational power has been doubling every so often. And with the advent of quantum computing and all that, the storage, the computational power is going to take a quantum leap. So where will that leave us as researchers, Because we will not have the capacity to analyze that sort of data any longer. And we need the help of artificial intelligence and other sort of things to really analyze at the rate which would be required to catch up, to just even catch up with the amount of knowledge being created. And that's a huge challenge. What would be the role of, researchers at that time? I'm not really quite sure what would be the role of researchers. What will we be doing as far as research is concerned? Will we really be doing the sort of bench research that we do still do in our labs? And Asma showed you the lab's beautiful bench research example over there. I still remember the day when we used to construct the vectors and we used to clone in our fragments in there and sequence it using radioactivity. And then we moved on to fluorescent sequencing and all that. And that, eased our job a lot, and genotyping and all that. But now if I look at my lab, most of my sequencing is being done in Korea. And even our exome sequencing and our SNP analysis and all that are being outsourced. And that is the sort of, experimentation that humans are proceeding towards. With such large data sets, I'm not quite really sure if we would even be required to do lab works any longer. And with the advent of system biologists, we all, Suhail is sitting there, and I and Ansar and all these, we are reductionists basically. And we were concentrating on some small portion of the whole genome or the whole organism. But now with the system biology, we can look at the holistic picture of things. And that is very important. Unless you know how things are interacting with each other, you really won't be able to answer very definitive questions of what protein A is doing in the cell and what protein C is doing in there. So this system biology, I think, is taking a step in the right direction, where computational power will be used to answer a lot of questions. But I really see a time coming very soon when, we researchers, bench researchers might not exist any longer. Everybody would be a researcher. You'll maybe have an avatar with you based upon artificial intelligence, and you would ask the avatar, this. आप लोगों ने वो Avatar movie तो देखी होगी ना? It's a beautiful movie. It projects you into another body and all that. So are we going towards an avatar which maybe in a communication device we'll have along with us? And we will ask the avatar, if I change the condition of the cell from A to B, what would be the response of all of the organism, and how would it react and everything? I think that is where we're moving towards. And along with that, maybe the avatar would be able to order some experimentation that let's do this, in the experimental phase also. Although I think the computational power would be so strong, and data analysis and data analytics would be so strong that there might not be a need to do bench research any longer. So the avatar might ask a distance, robot to sequence ABCA gene or something else and see what the results are. This is already happening. In the British Open University, what happens is students who are on a distance learning program, they sit over there and online they do experimentation where actual robots are mixing different things, but the student is performing that experimentation online and the robots mix each other and gives you the results and all that. So technology, like Dr. Devesh also pointed out, would be the really, gold standard of the future, and would be the oil or gold of the future would be the data. And data analytics, as you all know, in bioinformatics and biotechnology is a hot new field. But really, we need to start thinking about what is the future of science and technology. What would our role be? I know we almost finished with our inning and we've done good quality work and all that, but the onus is now upon the next generation of which direction they take the research towards. I think it's very important, especially with biotechnology. We've done a lot in biotechnology in Pakistan, but mostly on plant biotechnology and human biotechnology. But we've not concentrated at all on, industrial biotechnology. That is where the money is. We haven't been working on that. I can tell you this, we started one incubator in Islamabad campus, and I have 36 companies over there right now. 70% of them are IT related, and there's a biology company and other companies also. Their annual turnover is 150 million rupees right now. This one incubator with 29 odd companies, 150 million rupees. We are teaching our students now to become entrepreneurs. We have told them our mantra has changed from job seekers to job providers. You all want to become job providers and not job seekers. Only there is money, and only there I think that is the future. Knowledge economy that we keep talking about also, if we do not generate new knowledge and if we do not properly use it for the benefit of the society, I think we will not be doing our job as researchers and as university teachers and all that. Teaching is changing completely also. I say that this at different forums and all that, and teachers really get upset with me that maybe in the next 10 odd years, there might not be physical teachers any longer. We've already started experimenting with it at Comsats. What we have done is we've created an online flipped classroom where we deliver lectures from our star professors online, and then we have virtual classrooms where the students come together and they talk to each other and they try to clarify each other's concept. That is the best mode of learning, when you teach other people. Rather than you becoming a learner, you become a facilitator, and that is the best mode of teaching and learning new knowledges and all that. Please be aware, the students that are going into the primary schools right now, by the time they graduate, 65% of the jobs in this world will have disappeared. So they will need to adapt. It is almost impossible for me to see what the new jobs will be, because they physically do not exist right now. So what do I teach my students? How do I teach my students? What we are doing is we are turning our students into lifelong learners. You need to be able to, adapt and get new skill sets. If you are not going to get new skill sets, you will be redundant in the market. By the time you all graduate from here also, you should have certain skill sets. That is very, very important. Employers of the future are not going to look at your degrees any longer. Unfortunately, very, very poor for the university, and very, I get challenged as a rector to say that, but you all will be looked for your skill sets. I was talking to one of the huge software houses in Pakistan also. The name escapes me right now. And he was saying that when a student comes to me for an employment, or rather a graduate, I put aside his degree. I said, don't show this to me. What do you know? I mean, what are your skill sets? Can you code? And can you code in machine language? Can you code in C++? What can you do? What sort of algorithms have you developed and all that? This is what the future employer is going to ask you. And this is what you need to answer to them, that how do I fit into your organization as a biologist, and what can I contribute to you as far as that is concerned. So be ready. Challenges are huge, but you will be living in a beautiful time, I can tell you this. Technology is going to make life very, very easy for you all. But along with that would come the challenge of trying to understand what would our role be. If the machines or artificial intelligence and the computers are going to do everything, what would the role of humanity be? What would yours and my role would be on this planet and on this earth? And what would our contribution be if everything is going to be done by AI and all that? I think that question is very, very important to answer. I'm really thankful to Asma and Professor Yasin Zai and Professor Darwesh to invite me over here to have a word with you all. It's very nice to see how Pakistan is progressing. I did an analysis, it's on my Facebook page also, for Dr. Atar Rahman. He was going to present it to Imran Khan. We analyzed the number of papers per capita per person in Pakistan. I did it for 10,000 just for the ease of for the ease of plotting the data. Last year, in the year rather 2017, we crossed India in per capita publication. But the question always in my mind is, all this sort of research that we are doing, we are doing, mashallah, very well in basic research and all that. How will that now be used to benefit the society? I think that is the bottom line which is being asked, not just in Pakistan, but the world wide over right now, that what is the benefit of your research to society? And that we all need to think about, and we need to mold our research such that it starts benefiting the society. Thank you very much, everybody. Really lovely talking to you all. Thank you.
I would like to request all the dignitaries present on the stage. Now I would like to request Honorable Chief Guest, the Rector, Dr. Masoom Yasin Zai, our Principal Organizer, Dr. Asif Mir, he is also a Principal Organizer, and worthy Dean, Faculty of Basic and Applied. Thank you, sir. Before proceed towards the tea, I want